Hi, Betul. Great to see you here in the online course. I'm glad that you're taking advantage of this offer that we had. So now let's have a look at your first essays in the course. The first one is about the purpose of schools. So there's a controversial debate on the question of whether schools should include entertainment or focus on education only. Very nice start. My opinion, entertainment in education is necessary as an effective education method providing active learning. Okay, great ideas, absolutely great ideas. This essay will discuss the need for entertainment in schools using examples of the TV show Sesame Street and research by the American Psychological Association, APA. Amazing. Betul, tell me, do you have any background in education? Because it feels to me that you do. Okay. Let's first look at the language of the introduction. The introduction as a part of the essay is simply great. You have a very good introduction to the debate. You have our typical, let's say, agenda of the essay and prospective examples. Everything is in place, but I could suggest something regarding language. Let me show you a couple of repeats. Entertainment 1, 2, and 3. And then we have education 1 and education 2. So what does this mean? You have a great introduction, but if you could find a way to expand the range of your vocabulary to avoid the repetition of entertainment 3 times and education twice, this would be really awesome. So remember, keep in mind that you have to avoid repetitions at all costs. Of course, you won't be able to avoid repeating small words, but we don't discuss small words. We discuss keywords because entertainment is one of the key concepts for this topic. Firstly, entertainment, and then again, let me just go through this. 1, 2. Okay. 3, right? So you have again 3 instances of entertainment in the first body paragraph. Firstly, entertainment is a convenient method of our teaching. Okay, I wouldn't say while, I would say a convenient let's say motivation while teaching, because entertainment per se is not a method if you think like this. Depends how you explain that it's a method, but again, you cannot explain a lot in a short sentence like this. So I suggest you either change the word method or this part. This is largely because entertainment is a channel of communication, delivering the message to children in a context that results in deep learning. Okay, how about something like motivation or engaging, something like another way of stating the key function of the entertainment in the context of teaching. Okay, another thing that we have in terms of repeats is method. Method here, and here, right? So the word method is another repeat, another important keyword again. So perhaps you could use the word instrument, right? Instrument is also a rather abstract word that is rather potent in expressing the idea of method. Okay, for example, the Sesame Street, a world-famous TV show, was designed as a teaching method for children who suffer. Okay, I usually mark my corrections in all caps. Who suffer from educational inequality. And yes, by the way, remember, I write my corrections in all caps, but, well, though, do you know what? I can do another thing. Give me a second. No, track changes won't work, so I will have to continue using all caps. So, for children who suffer from educational inequality, coming to the conclusion that these children learned reading, counting, and simple mathematical operations as effective as those who attend school. Okay, great idea. I didn't know that about Sesame Street. That's interesting. Another thing, if you intend to use the inverted commas, then you either go on and use them. Uh, and I'm not sure about using the article. I think the name of the show is Sesame Street, not the Sesame Street. So, and then you please don't use the inverted commas. I'm going to remove them here too. Okay, a bit of grammar. Coming to the conclusion. No, who came to the conclusion? I mean, someone came to the conclusion, right? So, the show was designed as a teaching method for children who suffered from educational inequality. After the conclusion that these children learned reading, counting, and simple mathematical operation as effectively, you need the adverb, not the adjective, as those who attended school. Okay. Therefore, entertainment is a useful method for education. So again, method. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But again, it's not exactly a method. It's a great means to increase motivation and engagement, and to provide academic content in an attractive wrapping, so to say. Okay, anyway, take care of the repetition of the word method. Secondly, students keep focusing on the lecture and are less distracted when there is an entertaining classroom environment. We use the word lecture only in the university or college environment. You can say on the lesson or on the delivery of the class. So I wouldn't use the word lecture here. And you don't need the keep focusing. You can simply use the verb focus in the present simple. And I would suggest using an adverb more easily and are less distracted. This is due to the fact that the human brain tends to concentrate on a learned topic for an average of 20 minutes before losing attention. I wouldn't say tends to concentrate, but is able to concentrate. This is about the ability, not about a tendency. Research conducted by the American Psychological Association showed that the students who took entertaining breaks differ from the lecture topics gained. What is this verb for? Is this for the subject students, or what for? Gained entertaining breaks. Let's. I'm going to try and guess, and it's not going to be lecture but lesson. I wouldn't say gained equally. So, do you mean that students who took breaks, whose content differed from the lesson topics that the students were actually in, gained 80% higher marks than the ones who continued pure learning? I guess you mean this, but correct me if I'm wrong, because if I misinterpreted your message, it means your sentence was confusing due to the misuse of language, right? Which again will not lead to a very high band score. Hence, enjoying breaks are necessary to sustain active learning. Now, enjoying here looks like a gerund. You mean joyful or entertaining, right? In conclusion, I think schools should include entertaining activities instead of pure education. It is predicted, okay, let's not be so categorical. Let's be a bit more hedging and say it could be predicted, right? Let's be softer. That in the next 50 years, schools will keep increasing. Keep increasing is very informal. How about we'll continue to increase the entertainment times to benefit the teaching capabilities? And I wouldn't use capabilities here, to benefit the teaching process. or the instruction process, even better, because I think you have the word teaching quite a lot in this essay. So you have a great essay in terms of arguments and logic, choice of examples and explanation, but you should really take care of your repeats and of various grammar and vocabulary errors. Other than that, you have very good structure, very good paragraphing, and yeah, great job. Let's have a look at the second one very fast. There's a controversial debate on the question of whether as child skills and creativity can improve better while doing an enjoyable activity rather than reading. In my opinion, reading is the best activity for children to improve skills since it increases brain activity. Okay. Look at this again. We enter the realm of repeats. We have activity repeated 3 times, and there's also a confusion because activity in the meaning of, let's say, reading or let's say playing soccer is different from brain activity, which means something else, right? So due to the superposition of these concepts, even more confusion is created. So perhaps you could take care and find a way to rephrase. Okay, I can see the last sentence is great. Firstly, reading is the most effective method to develop skills such as comprehension and critical thinking. Which comprehension? Comprehension is a very wide term. You should really explain which type of comprehension. There is listening comprehension. There's many types of comprehension, and I definitely don't think you mean listening. This is largely because reading triggers the neurons in the human brain and leads them to establish permanent connections, causing skill improvement, not improvement of skills, which is correct but very non-economical. But skill improvement is more natural and you only use 2 words. For example, research conducted by Queen's University proved that 80% more neurons associated with such skills, with which skills, I'm not sure which you mean here, are activated while reading compared to those while doing sports. To those what? To those, it's not to the neurons, to those, and I think we need a verb here. I mean, you need a verb of some kind, to those which do what while doing sports, like firing up, but we can't use that. Therefore, reading is a great method to develop better skills. Okay, this is very simplistic. This is a very simplistic but correct. I would say advanced cognitive skills, and this is much more specific and much more precise. You really have to be very precise all the time. Secondly, reading fosters creativity more than other activities. I would say more readily than other activities. This is due to the fact that the right hemisphere of the brain, which is responsible for the creative thinking and imagination, runs several lobes while reading. Okay, I wouldn't say, yeah, runs is a good verb, but perhaps you could say something like requires the operation of several lobes at the same time in the process of reading, if I could suggest. An experiment conducted by the American Psychological Association showed that although the students who played computer games for 15 minutes had highly active lobes, those who were given a novel to read had 78% more activation in various. Okay, and here we should not let the reader forget that we're speaking about brain lobes after the same duration, after the same, I wouldn't say duration, time period. Hence, creativity can be highly improved by reading. Okay. Yes. In conclusion, I think the way to develop a child's skills and imagination passes through reading. Okay. If you're trying to create a metaphor here and say the way passes through reading as if through a forest, then Yes, but the metaphor is not evident. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to say this on a regular basis. Um, I would say the way leads to reading. It is predicted, again, hedging. It could be predicted. It could be predicted that teachers and parents will continue to encourage children to read books to gain, so that they gain, so that they gain valuable skills. Okay. I do have this weird feeling sometimes that sometimes your language and vocabulary and thinking are beautifully deep and sophisticated in a very impressive way, and sometimes you just resort to very simple formulations. I don't know why that happens, but I really hope that you preserve your complexity, your good complexity. You're not artificially complex. You are absolutely on point. But sometimes, cognitive, beg your pardon, sometimes I think you know the vocabulary, the expression advanced cognitive skills if you give examples like this about brain lobe activity. Um, but just make sure that you use all your precise vocabulary. Don't be afraid of sounding very academic. You really have to. Just make sure that you don't operate with vocabulary like good, bad, interesting, nice, and important. Always find more precise synonyms for that, because you have great ideas, great style. You simply need to get used and to polish a couple of things in your language and essay writing skills. Anyway, great job, Betul. I'm going to be looking forward to more of your essays, and I really hope that you're going to learn a lot from my feedback.